Indiana is full of cartoonists. Even though we produce a lot of corn, it's almost as if we've produced a lot more cartoonists. Nappanee is a small community. We always say that we're the third largest city in Elkhart County, even though Elkhart County only has 3 cities. So the Nappanee Six are 6 men who grew up in Nappanee, and they became nationally known as cartoonists. There's Merrill Blosser, who created Freckles and His Friends, Henry Most, who was actually a commercial artist, Francis Mike Parks, who was an editorial cartoonist, Fred Neer, who created Life's Like That, Bill Holman, who created Smokey Stover, and then Max Gwynn, who created Slim and Spud and Pig Troughed. 4 out of the 6 were born and raised in Nappanee. Francis Parks came to Nappanee when he was in the 8th grade, and then Bill Holman and his mom moved here at the age of 2 from Crawfordsville, Indiana. We credit their art teacher, Bessie Brown. She was an art teacher at Nappanee High School, and she would have actually taught 5 out of the 6. And she was said to have encouraged doodling, and so much that Merrill Blosser actually drew a picture of the devil and was expelled from school because he wrote the principal's name under it. So they all knew each other. Merrill kind of was the inspiration for the other 5. Bill Holman and Fred Neer would have worked at the Five and Dime together. They would come down to the Parks house to see Mike's newest mail and correspondence course. Merrill Blosser, Henry Most, Mike Parks, and I believe Bill Holman all worked in Cleveland together at one point.
It's your morning star. Read all about it. Morning paper.
Back in their day, they were widely known. They were nationally syndicated, so they were appearing in newspapers all over the country.
Read all about it.
I would say the heyday for them was probably about the 1920s for the early 5s to probably about the 1950s. And then with Max being the youngest, his heyday was really in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. I know with Fred Neer, he was syndicated in at least 200 to 300 newspapers. Mike Parks was pretty widely known since he had like J. Edgar Hoover asking for his cartoons, Winston Churchill. Anyone famous who appeared in his cartoons was actually requesting for them. Bill Holman was really big during World War II because his Smokey Stover, Spooky the Cat, and Chief Cashew Nut would actually appear on the sides of World War II bombers. With Henry Most's work, he created advertisements for Kraft Foods, General Mills, Swift Ham. His Swift Ham actually won a gold award in New York City. One time, Merrill Blosser actually asked his readers to name a horse for him, and he had over like 2,000 entries. Max Gwynn actually wrote gags for other artists as well, so he wrote their punchlines along with Slim and Spud and Pig Troughed. There's also the factor of Mr. Charles Landon, and Mr. Landon was the founder of the Newspaper Enterprise Association, and with his School of Illustration and Cartooning, he and his staff recognized that there was actually so many artists coming out of Nappanee that they would use them in their advertisements. Our collection of our cartoonists goes back quite a ways. Our collection was started by Evelyn Culp when she was the director of the Nappanee Public Library, and she wrote personally to all of the cartoonists asking them for cartoons, which they sent her a bunch of original cartoons that are still in our collection, along with some copies, and that was probably done in about the 1980s. In 2014, Max Gwynn actually gave us the opportunity to come to his house to go through his cartoons and see what we would want to add to our collection. My involvement, I actually named them the Nappanee Six Before they were just called the Nappanee Cartoonists, we needed a really catchy name for an exhibit that we were doing on all of them. So I came up with the Nappanee Six, and it's kind of just stuck with them. I also have worked with my staff to digitize a lot of their cartoons for public viewing. I do programs about them at least once to twice a year. I also worked on helping with the redesign of their exhibit. The Nappanee Six, they're so pertinent to Nappanee, and for people to walk in here and not know about them and to be like, hey, we have 6 nationally known cartoonists, people are just in awe. Giving them a place in the museum and really highlighting them has really helped bring awareness to the Nappanee Six. No town can be too small for something great to come out of it.